If you've ever felt like your business stopped being fun, you stopped enjoying working in your business, or that kind of fire, that passion and spark in your belly to work really hard to build something amazing, if you've ever felt that flame kind of burn out, today's episode is for you. We are going to talk all about how you can make your business fun again, why it's not fun anymore, and some of the reasons why a lot of us entrepreneurs tend to face this challenge that comes up from time to time. And to just know you're not alone when your business stops being fun. So we're going to dive into that topic today. But first, I wanted to just give a quick update. I'm here in Los Angeles, born and raised. What has happened to LA in the last 2 weeks or so has been beyond devastating, and just the extent of devastation, I don't even know what else to say. Like, it's unfathomable. And I just am so incredibly grateful to everyone who checked in on us, and lucky I'm here in my home office. Firefighters worked literally around the clock, tirelessly, braving impossible conditions like 90 to 100 mile an hour winds. We saw video with fire walls 200 feet tall. That's the height of a 20-story building, just a wall of fire. We saw fire nados, like swirling fire because the winds were whipping around so hard. We saw what they were calling fire nados because the winds were just like whipping around so hard. Just watching it on the news was heartbreaking, and every single person in Los Angeles knows somebody or is related to somebody who has lost everything, whether that's their home and everything in it. They had to flee with nothing but the clothes on their back, or family businesses, generations of a family business just going up in flames in a matter of minutes, sometimes seconds. It's just unfathomable devastation and loss. And I love this city so much. I've lived here my whole life, and my husband is also from Los Angeles. We're raising our kids here. We're building our businesses here. We could live anywhere, and we want to live here. We want to be where we were raised and where our parents are, and just watch those fires come literally across, like the evacuation zone come across the street from my childhood home, and the flames crossing the ridge of the mountain that is right behind my parents' house, and worrying about them and worrying about my in-laws and my brother, who was right near a fire evacuation zone as well, and frantically packing our bags one night when the evacuation warning headed in our direction really rapidly. And again, so lucky. I could not be more lucky, grateful, and it's just, my heart hurts for this beautiful city and friends I know who've lost literally everything. And so that is why it's been a little delayed on me getting this episode to you, because it has been near impossible to focus on anything else. The kids have been home from school, and it's been really all consuming. Anyone around LA, I'm looking for my phone, but there's that Watch Duty app, which is incredible and really kept all of us informed. And what I think shed a lot of light on, what I think this fire shed a lot of light on, is how the government and the systems in place may fail us, and real people are making an impact. They're moving faster than the government could move. The relief efforts that individuals are rallying to implement, the real impact that they're making with these grassroots efforts, that Watch Duty app, which genuinely kept people safe and kept them alive, was created by a civilian. And it was such an incredible resource for all of us to have, to be informed. It felt very trustworthy. It felt like we knew exactly what was happening when the news, the firefighters, briefing wouldn't tell us what was actually going on. This app really was a true lifesaver. So it's kind of interesting to see. And, thankfully, people are rallying to make change and to have an impact and to support other members of this community where the government will likely fail the citizens of Los Angeles and the people that are the most impacted by this tragedy. And it's really sad. I mean, we pay so much money to live here. It's insane. I guess it's a nice weather tax, but the amount of taxes you pay, property tax and income tax to live in Los Angeles, and the fact that the basic systems in place just kind of failed so many people, it's really devastating. I'm not going to get into politics or anything like that. It's just a sad thing to watch so many people's lives get uprooted. And again, I'm so fortunate and grateful, lucky. You feel a little bit of like guilt because you see so many people going through so many major changes because of the devastation, and they're unsettled. It could take years. It could take a decade. I mean, it is a loss at a scale that is impossible to comprehend. And so just, keep this beautiful city that I love so much in your thoughts. And I'm glad to be back podcasting. We're going to record a couple episodes for you, starting with this feeling when your business is kind of like, you're not that excited about it anymore. And I'm going to share my own experience of losing that spark and how turning off my entrepreneurial flow, that creativity that I felt when I started my business and all of the years that I was growing it, why turning that energy off played a big role in me feeling a little bit like I've lost my thunder for my business. So we're going to talk about first recognizing when the fun is gone. This is when you are kind of not excited about the business anymore. It feels like a grind. The passion that used to fuel you is just missing. And for me, I realized I stopped dreaming big because I didn't think that a lot of my ideas could ever really get executed. So when you are in that flow state where you're thinking about who you serve, how you serve them, and ideas come to mind about programs, offers, services, products, things that you're like, that would be so awesome. And that is something so needed. And your team is like, yeah, that's a back burner idea. And then eventually everything is a back burner idea because you don't have the bandwidth to execute on all of the ideas you have. For me, that meant I just stopped coming up with ideas because it was like, well, what's the point if it's never going to happen? Another thing that happened to me was that I, like a total dunce, just make sure you're on top of your tech. My website contact form stopped delivering new business inquiries to me for some reason. And anytime someone went through my generationpr.com website, filled out a form because they wanted to work with me, it went poof off into the ether, nowhere to be seen. And for probably 10 months, I never saw any of them. And I started to wonder, because my website is a huge new business driver for Generation. I've had my website for 20 years, has a really good kind of SEO juice behind it with a lot of high quality sites referring to it. It's been around a long time, a lot of really good keywords in there. So SEO really benefits us, even though we're not proactively doing SEO. It just has always benefited us, people searching for the kind of agency that we have, beauty PR agencies or baby and kids PR agencies, and then they would find us. I just thought maybe the industry has shifted so much that there are not clients inquiring about PR services anymore, which was really a bummer because here I am teaching other PR pros how to generate new business leads. And these were strategies that had always worked for me. And all of a sudden it was just like crickets. And then I realized when somebody said, I've been reaching out through your website, and I said, I haven't gotten anything. And I thought, oh my God, it's my website. It stopped working. And so we tested it again. I still don't know what happened, but we got it back working. And that month that we reconnected the contact form, so it delivered to me, I had 3 new clients. So I thought, oh my gosh, first of all, thank God that this industry is not dead. It isn't dead. It evolves. We know we're here to roll with the times, but not getting any new business leads and feeling like business is kind of stagnant will also put out that flame that you feel kind of burning in your belly to keep at it. So when I realized I couldn't dream big and I knew that any ideas I came up with were not really going to get executed on, that extinguished my fire, as did a almost 10-month period where we really didn't have any new business inquiries. And I felt like maybe we're, at that phase where people are not coming around anymore, which wasn't the case. Okay. So I'm going to talk about this perfection misconception. The misconception here is that the fun's going to come back when everything starts working perfectly. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that kind of see the lack of fun in their business because things aren't clicking. Like maybe, like I said, the sales were down, new business coming in was down, systems weren't smooth, or maybe you have a launch that didn't land or a campaign that kind of fell flat. And we will tell ourselves, well, once I fix these problems, then it'll be fun again. Then everything's going to be great. But the reality is the real reason your business isn't fun is because you have turned off that entrepreneurial creativity. It's that spark that you have inside you to build something you're proud of, something you love. I mean, I've always said my agency, Generation, coming on its 20th year, is my first baby. I built it from scratch and nurtured it and have always worked to keep it relevant and to keep it current and to do everything I can to make it profitable and to bring in great clients and have a team that I love working with. And it feels like that is, the baby that I have built. And I've always loved, if I work late and I send out one more email, maybe I'll wake up and there's going to be a yes response waiting for me. Everything felt exciting. But when you have a spark that for some reason is extinguished, that is going to kill that, creativity that comes along with being an entrepreneur and having that mindset where you're constantly ideating and solving problems and coming up with new ways to do things, because it is the spark that you feel, that creative fire is not tied to perfection, everything being perfect and right. It is more tied to dreaming and to imagining what is possible. And it's tied to just moving forward and figuring things out as you go. At least it is for me, because I realize that I could sit there. It's like the progress over perfection, right? Like you can say, well, I'm only going to launch this or move forward when every scenario, everything is figured out. I have a logo and I have a business name and a website and a domain. Or you can just go out into the world with a minimum viable product, with an idea, figure out how to test it. And all of that process of evolving is so exciting, that creativity that comes with just being open to possibility. And when we stopped dreaming, when I stopped creating ideas, when I stopped coming up with new ways to do things or new products that we could offer to people that would make their lives better, that would make their businesses more profitable, or would make them enjoy the work that they're doing because we're helping them make it a little easier. When my team would say, we can't do this right now, we're overwhelmed, and I was already, kind of maxed out on the budget for the team, then I stopped dreaming. I stopped feeling like I had that fire to, move the business forward in new and exciting ways and help people, because we know our audience and we know what they need. I kind of stopped dreaming and that excitement faded. Even when problems got solved, whether it was, sometimes the team, we had too many people working on different things and we would streamline the team. And I thought, well, that'll help us be a little more profitable and a little bit more, streamlined and efficient. And that will help me feel more excited about the business. That did not help. For me, I turned off my creative thinking because I felt overwhelmed by all of the ideas that were in a book that I literally wrote in back burner, like the back page of my journal, my daily planner had back burner ideas and it was filling up really fast. And I thought, I can't act on any of these. So why am I still coming up with ideas that I know are never going to happen? It just felt like sad to me a bit. So I told myself when I was in that kind of rut feeling to focus on fixing what wasn't working, but it also left me feeling uninspired and it left me feeling uninspired. It left me feeling stuck. And this is what I maybe call the back burner problem. But I used to see the world as full of possibilities and I would lie awake at night coming up with ideas for things in my business or ways to support clients in new ways, coming up with ideas for new businesses, Google searching whether a domain was taken at 2 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. And that's how I would see the world. It was full of possibilities and I was full of ideas that I couldn't stop coming up with in order to kind of improve some aspect of people's lives or their businesses. But every new idea that I came up with where I was like, I got this idea, it would be put on the back burner and it would leave me frustrated and feeling like it wasn't fun anymore. I was uninspired. And so the result for me was shutting off my, entrepreneurial mind, that like idea generation machine, that's your brain. And I focused only on the day-to-day execution, which is not my jam. It's not my area of, my zone of genius. And it sucked the joy out of everything. And I really will stand on my soapbox and talk about how building a business the way that we share in the Pitch Lab and Agency Accelerator, very strategic, very intentional, making choices along the way that will help guide you down a path where you're strategic and intentional about how you're building your business so you can love it in the long term, right? I want everyone to love their businesses in the long term, but I was not really able to focus on that space for myself because I realized that I love coming up with ideas, and the back burner approach where nothing really ever came off the back burner made me feel really burnt out, and it made me lose the joy of creating. And I had to have a mindset shift to help restore the fun in my business and in my life for that. So the problem wasn't just execution, it was really my mindset. And I lost the belief that my big ideas could become reality. I felt like, what's the point? And you kind of feel like a little bit stuck in neutral. So getting back to that belief is, for me, what reignited the spark and made my business fun again. It was, for me, the reality was really streamlining my team and bringing somebody in that lead role, my integrator, who was a problem solver, not a back burner idea placer, but somebody that said, that's awesome. We will find a way to do it. Here's the calendar. This is what we're going to focus on. And just hearing that's a great idea, it lit that pilot light inside me again to say, okay, you can come up with ideas and they will probably have a chance of actually happening. And it was like a game changer for me to have a team that supported my creative juices flowing, instead of saying like, I am here to keep you on task. And I'm here to, this is what the entrepreneur does. This is what you've got your integrator, and that person allows you to be the visionary of the business. For me, visionary means I'm coming up with ideas. So if I can't do that, then why am I in a visionary role? And you guys know that this is Traction from Gino Wickman. Traction from Gino Wickman. And you've got integrator and visionary, and elevating myself to that role where I get to be the idea creator, and then being told, stop with all the ideas because we don't have the bandwidth. It really, made the business feel unenjoyable. And so getting that belief back that these things that I'm coming up with are a possibility, and somebody is encouraging me, like, keep at it, come up with these ideas. These are great. Even if we can't do it right now, we can take pieces of it and add it to this, or integrate it into this program that we're already doing, or, oh, that's great. Let's collaborate on that. And that feeling of collaboration, instead of somebody that was just doing, here I say, this is what I want. And they're like, okay, I will do it. I have that feeling again of collaboration. Like, let's figure out the best ways to make this happen. So it was about finding balance between creativity and focus. I always felt like my big ideas would derail my current priorities. That's always the place that I felt I was in. Like, we have this goal. This is the priority. We have to get this working. And when this is working, then we can go back and look at some of these other things. And I completely get that. I definitely get the streamline, make it work, make it efficient, make it effective before you go into something else. But for me, it felt like I was being told your ideas are a distraction. We have our current priorities, and your, new thought, this new thing that you're excited about, is just derailing us. So instead, I looked for ways to integrate new ideas into what's already working. So for example, years ago, I acquired PRCouture.com from Crosby Norris, who's amazing. And it's such a phenomenal resource, community, great website. The value there is really good SEO. And I saw this platform called theexpert.com, and what they do for now, it's all about interior designers. But I see The Expert being very general, and ultimately it could be matching any type of expert with anyone. It's like a pick your brain platform where you get paid to share your ideas. And I love this because it fits in so well with my overall approach of allowing women to build businesses that fit into their lives, that give them flexibility and freedom, allow them to make money on their terms, on their time, whether that's, waiting in line at carpool pickup for their kids, or, the little spaces in between their day when maybe the baby's taking a nap and you have a half an hour where you can use that to generate some income. I wanted to match our experts in our community with people who come to them and say, hey, can I pick your brain about how I can implement my own PR campaign? Or how did you get into entertainment PR? I'd love to hear from you. I came up with this idea based on another model that I saw for how we can bring that structure of a marketplace of experts and put that on to PR Couture, because that's a site that has great SEO value. It is a place where people come to learn a lot about PR campaigns, what's working, what's current and new. And so it's not happening yet, but I brought the idea to my team and they were like, that is awesome. Yes, let's figure that out. And they put it in the calendar as a goal, as something we are working towards. And I will tell you, if you ever want to make anything happen for real, then calendar it. Put it in your calendar like a real deadline. Break it out into different phases and different milestones and put those in the calendar. If you want to work out, put it in the calendar. Schedule it like anything else. If you want a block of time to focus, put it in your calendar. When you want something to happen, you actually have to calendar it. And when I shared the idea that I had for how we could really leverage PR Couture in the business beyond what we had already thought of and have it be a marketplace of, advertising, marketing, PR, social media, affiliate experts who can get paid for a half hour, an hour of their time and speak on certain topics, and people seek them out because they want to know what that person can share with them. My team was like, love it, let's do it. And they put it in the calendar. So now it feels real. And I'm like, ooh, what else can we do, right? So it's not about doing everything at once. It's about keeping possibilities alive while you are also staying focused. And the other aspect is support and structure. So balancing your personal responsibilities with business really makes that creativity sometimes feel impossible. So for me, it was that lack of consistent help with parenting meant that I couldn't carve out the time I needed to focus, like to get into that deep work. And for me, to clarify, no help with parenting. Obviously, my husband is like, we support each other, but in every aspect. But it was the person coming to pick up my kids from school. So my kids go to school pretty far away. I'm like back there, and there's traffic in the time that I have to go get them from here to there. So it ends up taking me an hour and 15 minutes round trip just to pick up my kids from school. And that would come at a time of day where I feel the most clear and I feel the most creative. And now I'm abruptly stopping any kind of flow that I have implemented, and I've got to go pick up the kids. And then my ADHD brain is like, oh, well, we know you're going to have to stop working at this time. And so you can't really get into this other activity like recording a podcast where you have to check all the, screen and the mic and figure out what you're talking about and get it all set up. And that takes time. And then I have to record the podcast. So I can't really get into that right now because I'm going to have to leave in an hour or in half an hour to go pick up the kids. So I don't really have that time. So it started to creep into my ability to focus, those blocks of time. And when I have support, when I have structure and I have systems in place and I can schedule that creative time. I know that sounds weird to say like I'm scheduling creativity, but when you block it out and you make sure you have that time in your calendar during the day of the week where you feel you can be the most creative or the most efficient or have the most output and get in that flow state, or even the time of day that you feel you are the most focused and able to do that, and you put it in your calendar, that is a way when you build those systems, you have the support in place and you schedule that time. That is another way that you can bring that fire and that spark back and the fun back to your business. Your team should also support your creativity and not shut it down because they're only thinking logically, right? They're thinking, well, how am I going to get this done? If I say yes to it was always, if we say yes to this, it's no to all these other things. What do you want to do? And I always felt like Sophie's choice, but not really. Like, how am I going to say no to something when I think they're all great ideas and I want to do all of them? So I felt like my creativity was being shut down. And now I have a team. I surround myself with a team and people in my business who believe in the vision, and they're here to help bring my ideas to life. My husband also, you can't see, but I have some snazzy new office furniture all around me. I have a bookcase and a new desk that doesn't clank because my old desk was glass. There was a little shelf on the bottom with a sharp corner, and I used to have bruises up and down my legs like for 15 years, all the time I had bruises on my legs because the desk would just hit me, the sharp corner. So I kind of said to my husband, like, I'm feeling it again. I've got new furniture in my office. I feel like it's just this really creative space. I'm like so fired up to be in there again. And I'm in the process of getting also a new computer. And he's like, yeah, whatever you need. I love it. I love the spark that's back. I can see it. I can feel it. You seem different. When he said that to me, I was like, I do. I feel different. And I have people in my life that support my big ideas and they want to help bring them to life. So if you are a solopreneur, then maybe consider making your first hire an operations person, because this operations manager can take the tasks off of your plate that feel heavy. It's like you working in your drudgery zone. It's like, I don't love doing this. I don't love billing. I don't love collections. I don't love reporting. I don't love working in Excel and building a list. Whatever it is that you don't love, you can have an operations manager to take those tasks off your plate and provide structure and create the space that you need to focus on big picture ideas. This is where that right support system, whether it's at work or at home or both, can help reignite your creativity and make your business exciting again. Feel like that pilot light in your belly is lit up again and things are starting to cook, right? And that's how I feel now. I was like, 2025, let's go, and the start of the year has been a rough one. It's been beyond, like, for everybody, especially my community, because I'm here, born and raised, and so many of my friends and their families and their businesses, it's all here. And it has felt like a very rocky start, but that fire's in me. And I know that I can harness it and use it to come up with these great ideas, and feel that I have a team that's actually excited to hear what I have to offer. I just had a call today with Nadine, my integrator, and she was showing me a mock-up of our brand new website that's going to roll out by the end of this month, which is so exciting. And I'm talking about the different sections and the structure and making just little minor suggestions. And she's like, I love all your ideas. Like, it's so cool to hear how you see it. I worked on this and I'm so close to it. And now that you're looking at it and you have this fresh perspective, it's so awesome to hear how I can also integrate what you're thinking too. And I just felt like, thanks. It makes me want to share more. It makes me want to come up with more ways that we can collaborate to make this the best thing possible. So, some key takeaways for you with this episode. If your business is not fun anymore, try to get that creative flow turned back on. Don't let those execution challenges stop you from dreaming, because big ideas are what keep things exciting. I'm not saying like be a squirrel with no attention span and focus on a million things at once. I truly believe that when you build a bridge to this, from the start of something to the completion, and now you have a bridge and a finished something and you can make money off of it, or you can put it out into the world, it's a lot better to have one completed bridge than 10 unfinished things. I'm not saying have so many things unfinished that you're working and you feel like a chicken with your head cut off. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, as the visionary of your company, if you get an operations manager in there, it is not your job to think about the execution challenges and to have that put a stop to your big ideas and your dreaming and your creative vision. You want to keep things excited. You want to keep that creativity flowing. Keep yourself really passionate about your business, knowing that it's a place for you to dream big. It's a place for you to think of ideas and ways that you can support your target customer and make their lives better, make their businesses better. If you have to think about the how, it's going to stop your creativity in its tracks. So look for other ways that you can integrate your ideas into your current focus rather than shelving them indefinitely or thinking that you have to reinvent the wheel. And that's the example with the expert marketplace that I feel like would be a really good way to leverage PR Couture, this asset that we acquired. There's a lot of great value there for a bunch of different reasons, but the website itself with the great SEO and being a place where people are searching for PR solutions seems like a really great home for that idea of an expert marketplace that really helps our community members be able to earn more money on their terms. Next time someone says, hey, can I pick your brain on XYZ, which I've said this before, I hate that expression because it creates a visual for me of crows pecking at my eyeballs to get to my brain. It is like, ugh, disgusting, right? So if someone says to me, can I pick your brain? I'm like, no, you cannot pick my brain. But now you could say, absolutely, here's a link to my PR Couture expert marketplace page and schedule some time. Here's my rate. You can do a half hour, you can do an hour, and there's no deliverables. Just get on a Zoom call and talk to people, answer their questions, and deliver value, and do it on your terms and your time. And now, we look at this as a new idea that we can integrate into something that we already have as a current focus, rather than taking that idea and being like, let's back burner that. And it'll be shelved indefinitely. And that's kind of defeating because it makes you feel like, well, what's the point of me coming up with ideas? Another aspect of this is mindset and support. It is everything when it comes to making your business fun again. If you feel like you don't have the ability to create that focused time where you have to have at least an hour to thrive in taking an idea and fleshing it out, or creating some kind of maybe it's a blog post or a podcast outline or something, and that you're going to be interrupted because all of a sudden in the middle of your workday, your driver stops coming and now you have to stop every day at 2:15 to go get your kids. For me, that made me feel like I had no ability to focus on those long stretches of time to get into my flow state. So having the support and getting into that mindset again, like my ideas are helpful and valuable and my creativity is an asset. It's not a hindrance. It doesn't distract from what we're doing, but it actually enhances the business. That's what changed everything for me. And build a support system that will fuel your creativity, where your team members take the tasks off of your plate that feel heavy and taxing and feel like the drudgery zone, where you're like, ugh, I can't believe it's that time of month I have to do these things again. And that will help create space for your big picture thinking. If you can, as the CEO and the visionary leader of your company, your time is incredibly valuable. And so when you're focused on those low impact activities that you don't love, that don't leverage this amazing asset you have, which is your creative thinking, your understanding of the business and the customer and what they need and how you can continue to serve them, then, you want to reallocate your time to those things that are the visionary CEO role, and have somebody like a, onboarding manager or somebody take those things off your plate so that you can create space for your big picture thinking. So quick call to action for you as I wrap up. I want you to take 10 minutes this week and brainstorm one idea that excites you, even if it feels impossible right now. One idea that could get you really fired up. Think about how that idea aligns with your mission and where it might fit into your business. It could be an enhancement to a service you're already providing or something that you're already working on. It could be another way to make that an even better experience for your clients. It doesn't have to be something that's brand new, completely reinventing the wheel. It could be an add-on or a value add for something you're already doing. And share your idea with somebody you trust, maybe a team member or a partner, your partner, a loved one, your mom, your dad, so that it'll help reignite your entrepreneurial spark. because when you talk about it, that passion in your voice, that is magnetic. That is contagious. It's electric. I've been told so many times, even prospective clients saying, we were going to go with another agency, but when we talked with you, your excitement, enthusiasm, your passion, your spark for our business and the work that you're doing really drew us to you and made us feel like you would be really passionate, over time for our business. And we want to work with you. I'm telling you, it is magnetic. It's contagious. So share that idea with somebody that you trust, because when you talk about it, your excitement, your passion, that fun, that spark will come out in how you're talking about it. And that's going to make you feel so awesome. And if you don't have someone to bounce ideas off of, I get it. Being a business owner, it can be pretty isolating. And I know we often feel other PR professionals are a little close to the vest, a little guarded, but that's not this community. PR pros in our community really understand the unique challenges that we face in the ever-changing media landscape and running these kinds of businesses. So that's why I created our free community of PR pros who truly get it. This is a space where we share ideas, we share advice, swap resources, and we have each other's backs every step of the way. So go check it out. Seriously, check into this community. You can join for free. It is at generationacademy.com/community, and come and join us and, bring your idea. If you feel like you don't want to share it far and wide, connect with somebody one-on-one, have a Zoom call, or come into the pitch lab and come onto our coaching calls, and we'll get you in the hot seat. We'll vet your idea, help you figure out how to execute and implement. Maybe people have resources to make it happen for you. That is where the magic happens, inside the pitch lab. But whether you're a member or not, you can access our free community, generationacademy.com/community, and we've got your back. So to wrap this up, guys, your business, it can be fun again. It just takes a shift in mindset and a willingness to get back to your creative vision, to get back to dreaming big. And don't allow that day-to-day grind to take away what made you so passionate about the business you're building and the work you're doing in the first place. Start believing, start dreaming, and start having fun again. Because I'm loving my business again, and I know you can get there too. You've got this. All right, guys, go out and kick ass and go crush it this week. I know I'll be out there crushing it too, and I'll see you next week.